There's something within all of us that wants real effectual change to be influential, to manipulate the energy that is around us, but also to be able to connect into the third mind that balances all the energies to manifest our dreams, desires, and awareness and authenticity. You have to feel as if you're the most luckiest person in the world and create that luck and will it into existence. So the recalibration of reality can happen to you. But you have to believe in it wholeheartedly, because if you don't, you won't really initiate that. If you're always discounting it, if you're always doubting it, even if there's $0 in your bank account, it can always be refilled. Just because bad things seem to happen, circumstances that show you that there are bad things that are happening to you, it doesn't mean that you should be thrown off of the path. It absolutely means that you need to keep going. These are reflections in your reality. These are lessons that you're having to learn. And you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if anybody says that you don't go through something like this means that you have a revelation in your life. When you have everything revealed to you and you open up the veil, and the only way to really get in is through, and then being the one that chooses to stand among the rest and shine in a great distance with that luminosity. So automatically, you don't have to assume what you are. You're practicing the law of compensation. The law of compensation meaning that you are always compensated and approved for your works and connected to who you are. Remember this and feel it within your heart and spirit, that nobody has any reason to tell you who you are in this moment. So by saying this, we can change the tide in our reality. We don't have to be so sick of our reality to get out of it. This is the initiation of form. Through different forms of initiation, we gain awareness and clarity and see that everything in our reality is here to teach us not to misrepresent what we're trying to be. But your emotions are not unsafe. Your emotions are telling you in your emotional guidance system that something is up. Whenever you are triggered, whenever you have reflections, whenever you go through something that is so chaotic that you can't even explain like what it means, guess what? You're doing something right. Because this path is not easy. It can be a little bit of a challenge, but God favors the bold who are challenged with different sets of ideals, and you become more brave, you become more aligned in your conviction, and you never feel that the universe doesn't provide for you, because you know that it does. I took my sunglasses off because most people, if they're like watching the video, they're gonna be like, oh man, that guy's pretentious. Don't care. The reason why you should not care at all, it releases all the worry in your life. You worry so much, you're going to overthink everything. As you overthink everything, you're going to be presented with circumstances in your reality that people are going to try to throw your high vibration off. And then you'll just be there, even if it's screaming in your face, and you're completely in your bliss. You're completely connected to who you are. So, with a simple nod to the Creator, remembering what the Creator means, remembering how the Creator works, is seeing the Creator within yourself and knowing that you can teach this, and that if you have something to share, you should absolutely share it. It's as simple as the prayer technique within your reality. You don't just pray for yourself, you pray to a deity, you pray. I pray to Jesus Christ and pray with others. If you have mass prayer and meditation, things would absolutely change. It would minimize the amount of people that are frustrated, angry, committing crimes, doing things against humanity. So the trial and error of the spiritual awakening is kind of like letting you know that you're connected to who you are, always, unequivocally. And we don't have to be so dramatic, but we can see that everything is made of this sharpness, this distinct energy, this ability to be wise, to be cunning and eccentric and excitable. Excitement generates self realization. So when you are never in a state where you feel like you're not in congruence with who you are, this means that you'll maintain your bliss. And I told God this when I was sitting on the couch. I said, I want to maintain my bliss. So this means that you maintain your bliss no matter what. No matter what happens in your life, you're going to have a good time. That's the science of achievement. It's like, yeah, some people really need certainty. They need reassurance. They have $1 billion, but they don't have the girlfriend that they want. Some people really want nice clothes. That's really all they think about. Some people want to be very attractive and they're doing things very unnaturally to be attractive, like looks maxing, and you don't have to do that. You can be the maxing of looks. It's a joke, but seriously, you don't have to do it in a natural way. You can be natural and be magnetically attractive, and you don't even have to be the most attractive person. Because if you see that a lot of people that change, they change the imbalances in their life. And they're not even the most attractive person in the world, but then there's a sudden shift and change in their aura, in their look, in their spirit, in their soul. So the soul and the spirit gives you everything that you're desiring out of yourself. So regardless, and I mean regardless of what you're doing in your life, if you understand this notion that everything can be created authentically and unequivocally in the state of being that you can apply, and there's a lot of rhetoric against this. So most people feel that their life is over before it's really begun. Most people quit before they make it. I've done this several times. My biggest frustration was like, why didn't I make it yet? I had an idea, but it didn't go through. So trial and error, experimentation, trying again and again and again. If you fucking try really hard, it doesn't mean that you're just trying to the point where you're saying like, oh, I did the best I could. But if you try to the point where you have effort and you're not masquerading in self-doubt, then you'll really change. You'll really make a great change in your reality. But if you don't, you're always going to stay in that stagnant energy. You're never going to be congruent with the higher self. And so when you're spelling, when you're speaking, you're inviting dis-ease. And most of the time people disrupt their intentions. And I made a video about this specifically, so go watch that. And so at the end of the day, all of us, and I mean all of us, want the life of our dreams, but we're too bashful to accept it and to really want it and to really go after it. So with these subtle shifts and these subtle changes, remember that your life can change. And if you guys want to connect to any of these services, I am a spiritual teacher, psychic medium, gift activator, spiritual therapist. Go to my link tree in my bio and check out all the categories of ascension. Love you guys.